शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधे वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः। यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण जन्मसंसारबन्धनात् विमुच्यते नमस्तस्मै विष्णवे प्रभविष्णवे। Om Namo Venkatesaya. Pranams to everybody. Yesterday we saw up to Chaturbahu. Let's move on to the next nama. Chaturvyuhaha. That means Bhagavan has split himself. Vyuha means one meaning of vyuha is division. He's divided himself into four forms. So the first one is the Vyuha Vasudevan. So in this Chirabdi Saga, Bhagavan has got this, Bhagavan as the Vasudeva, that is the person who is all pervading. And he has split himself into three forms. That is Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha. That means he has got these three activities, no? The creation, sustenance and then annihilation. These are so for three activities he has split himself into three roles. One is the creation is called as Pradyumna, who is the person who is the creator. Then who is the sustainer is called Aniruddhan, and then annihilator is called Sankarshana. So Bhagavan Vasudevan, then he has got this Pradyumnan, Aniruddhan and Sankarshana. These are the four forms in this Chirabdi Sagar. Bhagavan has got these four vyuhas, and therefore he is called as Chaturvyuhaha. Chaturgatihi. That means one who has split himself into the various paths through which they can attain. Chaturgatihi means we have got these four ashrama dharmas. That is Brahmachari, Grahastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa. That means Grahastha ashrama is where the person learns. The knowledge is the learning phase is called as Brahmacharyam. Then they get into the householder, get married, and then supporting the other three ashramas, that is called as Grihastha ashrama. Then after that they go into the Vanaprastham and finally to the Sannyasi. These are the four paths through which for many of these paths people can reach Bhagavan, and therefore he's got these four paths, and therefore he's called as Chaturgatihi. The other meaning is he is able to give them the four types of his Purusharthas, that is Artha, Dharma, Kama, Moksham. No? So that is he has got this the wealth, the Artha is wealth, Kama is desire, Dharma is righteousness, and then Moksha is the liberation. So depending upon the people also have different four types of requirements, and therefore they follow the four different types of path, and all these were created by Bhagavan himself, and therefore is called as Chaturgatihi. Other way of looking at it is Bhagavan himself says in Gita he has got four types of devotees. Artho that is Chaturvida Bhajante Mam Jana Sukurdorojan. That means four types of the devotees worship me in four forms. That's what is four types. Chaturvida Bhajante Mam Jana Sukurdinurjana Artho Jignasu Artharthi Jnani Cha Bharatrishabha. So he has got four types of devotees. Artha, one who wants all his problems to be solved. Artharthi, who wants all the wealth for sustenance in this world. Then Jignasu, one who is looking for knowledge. And Jnani, one who wants Bhagavan himself ultimately. So these are the four types of devotees, and therefore they are worshipping me in four different forms, and therefore he is called as Chaturgatihi. Chaturatma means there are four types of Atmas. Bhagavan is manifest through the four types of Atmas. We have got this Baddha Atma. So we are all Baddha Atma because we are all Baddha means bound. We are bound to this samsara chakra. We are born in this world, we live for some time, we die again, we are born again into this world. So this chakra goes on, the samsara chakra. We are called Baddha Atma. So we are bound by the karmas and the vasanas. People are liberated from this karmas and these vasanas. They are called as Mukta Atmas. So that means they are liberated, Mukta Atma. They go to Vaikuntham and then worship Bhagavan there. Then there are certain type of people called Nityatma. Nityatma means the people who do always service to Bhagavan as such in Vaikuntham, like Anantarvar, this Adisesha, the Garuda, then Vishwaksena. Those are all called as Nityatmas. Then finally, of course, the fourth type of Atma, Bhagavan himself, the fourth Atma, Paramatma. So Bhagavan manifests through these four Atmas, and therefore is called as Chaturatma. Chaturbhavaha. That means through the various their dispositions, Bhagavan has created these four varnas: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras. That means these four types of. It's not that all. In fact, the Shastra says or the Vedas say that all the four of them came from different parts of the body of Bhagavan. So there is no differentiation on these four types of people. All that it says is each one has got its own dispositions, and therefore they follow their own path and ultimately all of them can reach moksha. It's not that only one particular type of person can reach moksha. All the four of them have and can reach moksha, will attain him, and therefore he is called as Chaturbhavaha. So he is split based on the bhavas, that means the swabhavams, that means their inner nature, and therefore he is called as the four types bhavas, Chaturbhavaha. Chaturvedavid. So one who knows the true purpose. Yadavat veti chaturnam Vedanam artham iti chaturvedavid. That means one who truly knows the real meaning of these 4 Vedas, the Chaturvedas, and therefore is called a Chaturvedavid. Yekapat. That means Bhagavan is Ekapadaha asiti Ekapad. That means one, Bhagavan himself says, this in the Purusha Suktam it is said, Padosya Visva Bhutani Tripadashyamritam. The entire 14 lokas is being sustained by only 25%. Ekapad, pad means quarter. So it is being sustained by this only 25% of the total, Mahima of Bhagavan. The 3/4 of the Mahima of Bhagavan resides in Vaikuntham itself. And therefore he is called as Ekapad. That is, one is supporting this entire universe with just only one aspect, 1/4 of his aspect, and therefore he is called as Ekapad. Let's move on to the next sloka. Samavarto navrittatma durjayo duratikramaha durlabo durgamo durgo duravaso durariha. Samavartaha navrittatma durjayah duratikramaha durlabaha durgamaha durgaha duravasaha durariha. So first, Samavartaha, Samsara Chakrasya Samyak Avartaka iti Samavartaha. That means one is able to rotate this Samsara Chakra perfectly well, and therefore he is called as Samavartaha. And also Bhagavan, he has taken multiple avatars. That means avatar is a cycle. So he has taken different avatars. Rama avatar, Krishna avatar. He comes here, goes back, comes here, goes back. So for establishing the dharma again. So that is also called as Samavartaha. Bhagavan taking various Vyuha avatars and then Vibhava avatars for this universe, for protecting this dharma, and therefore he is called as Samavartaha. Other meaning is Samataya a Samantatu Vartate iti Samavartaha. That means one who is residing in all places equally. Bhagavan says Samam Sarveshu Bhuteshu Tishtantam Parameshu. That means he is residing, there is no differentiation in terms of his existence in different places or in different bodies. He exists in the same manner in all these bodies. Only thing is the Bhaktas and the Jnanis are able to realize that he is residing. Other people don't realize that. That's the only difference. But he resides equally in all these people, and therefore he is called as Samavartaha. Nivrittatma. So that means one is, even though he is residing in all of us, he doesn't get attached to any of these karmas and vasanas of the actions done by the jivatmas. No, the doubt arises, no? So how is it possible? He is residing in all of us, the jivatma gets bound and all those things, but then how can Paramatma not get bound? Let's take the example of, this, there is a beautiful, supposing we consume a halwa made of ghee. So it is, this halwa is completely soaked with ghee. So you consume the halwa along with the ghee. And therefore, with your hand gets sticky. So what do you do after consuming that? You wash your hands with soap. Wash with the water, but the stickiness doesn't go. So you take some soap nut powder or something like that. So then you wash your hands and all those things. Then finally the hand becomes, absolutely clean. Then at the same time, if somebody is looking all these things, you have washed your hands, then what about your tongue? The tongue was the one which tasted it, and therefore tongue must also be sticky. So why don't you apply the soap nut powder on your tongue? You don't do that, because even though it's your own body, you have consumed the same this halwa, and the same halwa has gone through the tongue also, but then it got stuck to the hand, but it didn't get stuck to the tongue. So like that, Bhagavan, although residing in each one of us, he doesn't get bound, because he is not doing any of the actions. He is given that freedom of action to us. He is only a supporter of whatever we are doing, either good or bad, and therefore in that sense he doesn't get bound to any of these actions, because he doesn't do anything for his own self. So that is called as Navritatma. Durjayah Jetum na shakyati iti Durjaya. That means one who cannot be conquered by anybody in this universe, and therefore he is called as Durjaya. Durjayaho Jetum na shakya. Only his devotees can conquer him. Bhagavan says, Aham Bhakta Paradini. I am under the control of all my devotees. Only the devotees can exercise control in him, and they can win over him, but other people cannot. He can be won over only out of love, not through any other means, and therefore he is called as Durjaya. Duratikramaha. Dukkasya atikramo yasya na duratikrama. That means one who is able to help us to cross over this dukkha, that means the sorrow, and therefore he is called as Duratikramaha, and he is beyond. So that means he is beyond all this sorrow, then bhaya, and all those things. He is beyond that, and therefore he is called as Duratikramaha. Other meaning is Ata Sarvasya Swa Padamulam Atikramya Na Gati Antaram iti Duratikram. That means nobody can cross over him. That means he is the ultimate end, no? Matta parataram nanyasti, Bhagavan says. So there is nobody beyond, so nobody can get, cross over him. So because he is the ultimate, and therefore he is called as Duratikramaha. I think we'll stop with this shloka. We'll move on to the other namas tomorrow. Okay. Om Namo Venkateshaya.